we decided to read the book Lab Girl by Jahren. People are like plants. They grow towards the light. I chose science because science gave me what I needed. A home, as defined in the most literal sense. A safe place to be. Jahren grew up in a small town in Minnesota where her dad was a scientist at the community college. She tells how she always felt like a scientist, even as a little girl. She grows up and goes off to the University of Minnesota. There, she gets a job in a pharmacy. As she tells her life story, Jahren intertwines it with science. One of the big ideas that we will cover this year is that biological systems interact, and these systems and their interactions possess complex properties. Jahren explains the process of leaves forming and connects that to how the whole tree works together. This is similar to how Hope was a very complex and interesting person on her own, but her story is intertwined with Bill's and Clint's and many other people along the way. Hope goes to graduate school at UC Berkeley. There, she meets Bill while helping run an undergraduate field trip. She knew little about him, but they seemed to click. Another big idea for this class is that living systems store, retrieve, transmit, and respond to information essential to life processes. Hope goes on to explain the rare process of a single tree being at two places at once. The trees have the same DNA because one tree grew from a fallen-off branch of the original tree. This is very interesting because it shows how the inheritance pattern of many traits cannot be explained by simple Mendelian genetics. After earning her PhD in social science, Hope gets a job at the Georgia Institute of Technology and invites Bill to come along. Starting off her career was tough, and she tells about the constant discrimination she faced as a female scientist. She and Bill go on many adventures together, including a cross-country road trip in which they get into a huge car wreck. 3 years later, she and Bill moved to Baltimore to work at Johns Hopkins University. It was easier to get funding there, and both her and Bill were much happier. They still face struggles there, though. Hope describes her bipolar episodes in great detail. While in Baltimore, Hope meets Clint. They dated for a while and then got married. When her son started school, they moved to Norway for a year to study DNA analysis techniques. With the offer of her own lab and an actual salary for Bill, Hope, her family, and Bill all moved to the University of Hawaii. The last big idea I'm going to talk about is that the process of evolution drives the diversity of life. Just like Hope had a favorite childhood tree, her son did too. This tree was a palm in their backyard. Hope explains how the Ericaceae was the first plant family to evolve as monocots millions of years ago. From that original monocot, thousands of different palm species evolved. Lab Girl is a brilliant combination of Hope Jaren's life story and the explanation of complex scientific processes. Science has taught me that everything is more complicated than we first assume, and that being able to derive happiness from discovery is a recipe for a beautiful life. Hope Jahren, Lab Girl. Thank you for listening.